and welcome. Today we're driving this 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500 Trailboss. This is a 4x4 model. I would like to thank Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett, Rhode Island for allowing me to both review and for allowing me to drive this truck. Their link is down below. Alright, so this is a Chevy Silverado 1500. This is a custom Trailboss edition. So this is stickering currently for about $38,000. It does have about 51,000 miles on it. So this is powered by a 5.3 liter V8, making about 355 horsepower and roughly the same amount of torque. And it looks really good. It has such a great appearance package on it, is the Trailboss. It doesn't have too many performance upgrades. It does have some different wheels and tires and then slightly different suspension, but it has a big V8. It's a very, very nice looking truck in my opinion. I'm not too much of a Chevy guy, but I can't really deny I like the looks of this truck. And as for power off this very initial drive so far, it is very adequate. So I'm at 40 right now. I'm at 1100 RPM. This thing is very, very easy to maintain and manage. It rides pretty high though. It has decent steering feel though. It's light, but it doesn't have that big of a dead zone, which is nice. Like there's not a zone where you turn it, it does absolutely nothing. So that's always pleasant. Let's get into it a little bit. Sounds good, has some power. Of course, now we're already at 65, so that's very nice. Full analog gauges in here. Rubberized steering wheel, which is, so this is mainly just a work truck, but with a very nice appearance package on it. So it has a very nice ride height, and as you can see from the exterior footage, it is a very, very cool looking truck. But really, when it boils down to it, it's just a work truck. It's a good one though, at that. And inside it does have a touchscreen, which is nice. Looks like about a 7-inch touchscreen by my guess. And that has the basic Chevy outlook, the basic Chevy GM type of infotainment system. And it's pretty intuitive. I think it works well. Let's see for body roll on here. Okay, body roll is plentiful, but let's get into it a little bit. And 60. Very nice. This really is decent to drive. Of course, it has a big V8. It's not a gigantic truck, so it's very manageable to drive. It does have some tire noise, as you can probably hear. Not as much wind noise, but it can definitely have some tire noise, so that's expected. This has very large tread on it with some very large tires on it. But it's a little bit much. I was hoping it would be just a little bit less, but that happens with all trucks that look like this. Up above about 60, 65. Wind does start to pick up, wind noise, but the majority of it is actually tire noise, which is not all that bad in itself, so that's very good. And additionally, of course, this has tons of great passing power. It's very easy to manage. It rides a little bouncy though, in my opinion. Like I'm kind of bouncing around constantly right here with all the bumps. Although it has nice suspension, it's just like a very constant bumping type of feeling. As if I'm just on, like, I don't know, an old rocky type of road or something. Old cobblestone type of road. It feels a little bit like that. At higher speeds, anyway. But lower speeds, it's a bit more normal. But inside of here, it's okay. It has mostly hard touch materials. It's just a work truck. Really, just a really nice looking work truck. But it's okay, it's manageable, it's easy to drive, and the interior, although basic, it has some okay stuff. It doesn't have dual zone climate control, it only has single zone climate control. I do not see an auto mode in there either, but down below it does have a tow hitch in the back, and it has a pretty nice bed. This is the crew cab model, so it does have a pretty large backseat area, which is very nice for passengers, of course. But yeah, overall it's not not that bad inside. You have to keep your expectations appropriate. This is a work truck, but it looks very nice. Has a lot of trailer aids on as well to the left of your steering wheel. It does have kind of old style analog gauges for speedometer and tachometer, but overall they're very easy to see. They're kind of timeless. They've looked similar in GM and Chevy vehicles for a while, so that's okay. Visibility is pretty good. Pretty thin A-pillars, just a little bit of a larger grab handle than I would prefer because it keeps it, at least on the passenger side, just kind of hard to see past, but that is okay. You ride very up high in here, and the cloth seats, although they're just cloth, they are pretty sportive in my opinion. They work well for me. I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm not exactly short, and yeah, they're comfortable for me. A lot of adjustments, which is nice. Like a big range of adjustments for everything, which of course is always going to be pleasant. And brakes feel nice, as they should. And the engine is actually very quiet, so even when I went up to higher RPMs over there, it was a very, very quiet sound. It really did not roar or anything like that. I'm kind of surprised they didn't put a bit of a louder exhaust on this, just because it has a, you know, a very nice aesthetics package. I thought maybe they would include a louder exhaust as well, but no, they didn't choose to do that, so that's okay. But yeah, it's pretty pleasant to drive, actually. The hood I like. It doesn't have like a big scoop or something in the center. It actually has cutouts on the left and the right, so it's very easy to see down, and it's not the type of thing where you have like an invisible sort of hood like in some trucks, which I don't like, so this is nice. And then you do have, of course, a bench seat in here, so this can seat 6 people in a pinch. It's not going to be the most comfortable for the center, but it's full size, so this does have a bench seat across and then 3 more in the rear. And of course, with the crew cab, it does have a very nice set of space in there, so that's good. Yeah, the truck's moderately eager to use its power, which is good. I do like the transmission tuning on this. It's very economy based because this doesn't have a sport mode. All it has is just low beyond drive, but it is very easy to deal with, and you know, it's easy enough to get the power out, which is nice because it's a very torquey engine, really, at any power band. Right here I'm at 1500 RPM and I'm already 10 miles an hour faster than I just was. I really like this motor and the transmission tuning together right now. I haven't driven too many full-size trucks. I drove a Ram 1500 Laramie, so that had the 5.7 Hemi. I did enjoy that, but in some ways this almost feels a little torquier. At least just in the tuning, you know, matching with the engine power. At least at lower speeds, I do enjoy this more. And for the ride in here, it's actually not too bad through bumps, but it is just a little bouncy in minor things when you go over those, or just even in relatively good good roads. It's just a little bouncy, so that's not my favorite. But I don't know, it's pretty quiet when it does go through bumps, which is nice. It doesn't rattle you around so much. Like right there I did a little, but that's an awful place in the road. But generally it doesn't rattle you around, it doesn't throw you, it just kind of, you know, lets you go through it at a moderately smooth outlook. Yeah, I really do like this engine and transmission matching right now. It's not exactly fun to drive. This is a truck, but for a truck, it's pretty pleasant. I'm not disenjoying this. And the brakes, of course, feel nice. I don't know how body roll quite is. It has some upgraded struts and suspension in here, and a little bit higher ride height, but light steering, but not the heaviest, not the lightest, excuse me. So that's good, a nice balance between those. All right, and we will do a nice little one right here. $60. That is really not bad at all. We got some tire spin accidentally right there. So yeah, this thing is pretty dang good, 0 to 60. It doesn't really have too crazy of a power band anywhere. It's just pretty linear, but at least it doesn't drop off, so that's very nice. Yeah, body roll is well controlled in this truck, in my opinion, versus the some other trucks. So I do like that. I'm actually impressed by the low levels of body roll in here, at least at slower speeds. Of course, if you're like going heavy into a corner fast or something, it's not going to be great, but it's actually pretty easy to maintain in that sense right now. So I enjoy that very much. And then otherwise, yeah, for my final thoughts on this truck, I think it's pretty good package actually, because at its current price, it's about where it's about $38,000. But this really does feel pretty good to me across a lot of aspects. So I like the transmission, how it's eager enough to play, but also drive very economy based as well. I enjoy the engine because it's very torquey, especially at lower RPMs. Nice power band throughout though as well. And then body roll is pretty well composed. Wind noise is quiet while tire noise is loud, but that's to be expected with very large knobby tires. And the interior, this is a work truck. I wouldn't necessarily buy this happily as like a daily, because it doesn't have like too many niceties or too many really luxury features of any kind, but it has the essentials. It has a complete infotainment system, which is a lot better than a lot of trucks can say of their work truck variants. And this looks great, in my opinion, on the exterior. Very tough and brutish and powerful. Alrighty, that'll just about wrap up this review of the 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Trailboss. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much to Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett, Rhode Island, for allowing me to drive this truck. Their link is down below. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.